I'm Manushree.
And I'm Nawina.
And today we are going to be reviewing the movie Endravadhu Oru Naal, directed by Vetri Duresamin.
மாட்டு வண்டி ஓட்டி பழக்கிறதுல ஒரு பொழப்பா?
அதுக்கு வெறும் மாடுகள் இல்லைங்களா, எங்க குடும்பத்துல ஒண்ணு.
2 நாட்டு மாடு வச்சிருந்தா ஒரு சின்ன விவசாய குடும்பத்தை அதுவே பார்த்துக்கும்.
நம்ம மட்டும் நம்ம தான் மூட்டை எடுக்கணும்.
This movie stars Ramya Nambizan and Vidarth. So those are it's our main heroine and hero. And actually Vidarth makes like a good cameo in the movie, but he's not there the entire time. The real star is our heroine, which is Ramya Nambizan. She's supposed to be a mother character, and she has this super awesome, confident, single mother kind of strength to her in this character. So we see that a lot in the movie, and I just kind of spoiled everything right now, but she's a single mother.
No, it starts out. So
I mean, it starts out as she being a single mother, so we're given foreshadowing that something happens to the husband. And so this movie was incredibly similar to what is it, Rame Andalam, Ravane Andalam, as well as Vellayane. I saw those two, and actually in some other movie reviews that I read on my own time, I noticed that those two are quite similar to each other.
So at the start of the movie, basically what happens is she's trying to repay these loans, and this loan shark, this guy, one of his men steals her 2 bulls, and he's like, "Oh no, I did not mean for this to happen," but he won't give the bulls back until she repays the loans.
But it's like,
you know, the entire movie she's trying to repay these loans.
It's on top of actually some loans they had taken out before when her husband was alive, and he actually passes away due to a tragic accident, which I will not go into detail, but he does pass away. But like they're just a family that depends on agriculture and farming, and you know that's actually becoming, you know, obviously people are usually trying to progress and go to the cities and start working in, you know, actual jobs, you know, like, you know, IT jobs and everything. But this movie was actually a family with a backwards ideal who wanted to stay in farming, and I know there's several people like that in India. So we have this family that wants to be farming, but the thing is there's a drought, and so therefore no crops, therefore nothing to feed the cows, and therefore it's just like a chain reaction, nowhere for the cows to graze. So what they need to do is, in order to save those 2 cows, which are now like a part of their family, again, almost like the exact other plot of the other movie, Rame Andalam, Ravane Andalam, they're trying to do everything they can for those cows, and so, or bulls, for those bulls. And so they take out a loan, and the husband actually passes away while they're trying to repay that loan. And so now all the burden is on the wife, and so she needs to try to repay those loans. And they actually, and I didn't know this was like a thing that happened, but they take the cow or the bulls away, and the wife now, I mean, her motivation is not only to repay her husband's debt, but also to get those bulls back, because they were born on the same day as her son, and so they really reminded her of, you know, her husband, and you know, just they were part of her family, so she wanted to get them back. So the main plot of the story is almost exactly like the other movie. It's trying to get those bulls back, but we know where the bulls are. It's just we need to figure out how to get them back, if that makes sense. So that's how this movie is titled. And she has a son. We should definitely talk about the son.
The son is okay, fine.
Okay, so basically in the beginning title song, there are some lyrics that are like how we need ration card, and I know that's for like, that's similar to like food stamps here. And so that's similar to food stamps here, and so basically it was saying how, you know, we have food stamps, we have ration cards,
well,
but
they're not food stamps, they're different in India.
It's some sort of like identification card, and the fact that bulls don't have them as well.
So this family considers these bulls as part of their family, and in one of the song lyrics they're talking about if they could put their bulls on their ration card, they would, which is a pretty powerful lyric.
To see how significant they are as family, yet they don't get the same beneficiaries as humans do, such as, you know, a ration card or like identity cards, or, you know, the social status. And so they're holding bulls up to the same level as humans. And so we actually see this because several times people will sell bulls for beef in Kerala, but actually in this movie the husband like condemned it. He did not want that, and I understand why he would say that, because, you know, these bulls that he took so long to raise and actually made memories with, for it to be sold off as meat in a commercial setting, it just doesn't make sense. It seems like it's desensitizing the entire idea of you know, of basically raising a bull like a child. So that's what we're told here. So the entire plot of the movie is really how are we finding those bulls and how are we getting them back, and and we actually the youngest or like the son is such a determined character.
He's really responsible.
Really responsible. He acted really well, like his character. Basically, he wants to do whatever he can. So he wants to go to work outside of the village, and he's still in school. He's like 7th grade, and that is very young for a child to go out and try to do work. But he's adamant, and he really wants to help his mother. So his mother says, "Okay, yeah, you can do it. You can just see how this might work." And yes, he does get money, but the conditions in this area are just very like the place he works.
He works at a construction.
He works at some sort of construction site. There's no safety. It's just it obviously all foreshadows to the climax in the end, which we don't want to spoil, obviously, but it's not good. Like it does not end in a happy manner. And actually, we have Yulavarse, the actor who acts as I think his name is like Robert or something, but he's like an agent who shows up in the village, and that's actually a really good. I mean, Yulavarse is a really famous actor, and so he shows up in the movie, and he doesn't do too bad, but his character is like very. He's not there for a long time, but he's still an impactful character. So I did go to like him.
Also, the loan shark, the person who acted that, he was a good subdued character according to our dad.
Yeah, and again, like there weren't like super famous people on this, and yet still we had a really good storyline. So yeah, and actually, music you should talk about really good.
It was okay. The music was every time there was music, there was lyrics with it, and the lyrics were always really good. And the melodies were also really good and minor and stuff. But I think there may have been a bit too much music. They did add a lot of music into it, and that made it kind of hard to get
There were too many songs, personally. And I know in older Indian movies, it was regular to have like 4 or 5 songs, but now, I mean, this movie was 2 hours long.
It was more like, it wasn't like montages, or, I mean, it kind of was, but it was just, all of the songs were really sad.
And if there was a sad scene, when you put a song over that, you don't get the feeling. Like for example, several times in movies, what I like seeing is when there's a super devastating and sad scene, but it's muted. Like, you know, so you can't hear anything, but you can see what's going on the screen. That's a really cool technique to use, like as a director. However, when you put such sad music over a sad scene, like of course it's going to convey the emotion, but sometimes it's just a little too much.
Sometimes it feels like you're forcing the emotion.
Yes,
and it should just come on its own.
You don't want the audience to feel forced. So we do think that music, I think music was really good. We had like a theme that was going on, and so I thought it was really well done. And actually I read that the music director wanted there to be like a universal theme.
And the ending was really good. The ending was a very good ending.
The ending was a good ending. It was entirely unexpected, but
you didn't expect it to end right there, but it made sense.
It was very well done. And cinematography wise, we have really nice shots of the villages, and there's actually like some crane shots of like building wells and everything. And I thought that was really cool. Oh, and also something about bore wells. There's just a tiny little segment on like the injustice of people like digging their bore wells at the side and drawing water from other wells, and that is a serious problem which doesn't get talked about often. So we have so many political issues in this movie, like so many, but I feel like they're all focused the right amount of time, so like it's not too much. And you know, it is a 2-hour movie, but even then, like I really did enjoy it. Personally, for me, Rame Andalam, Ravane Andalam, that movie was dragging. Like it was slow for me. It was kind of difficult for me to get into. But this movie was similar, and obviously when I knew there was a plot about finding bulls, I was frustrated. You know, I just watched a movie like this. But actually, I didn't like fall asleep or anything during this movie. Like this movie was actually interesting and engaging. So that's why we haven't even talked about how much we want to read this movie.
Yeah, what like 8 or 9? What do you say?
Yeah, I think
9?
A 9.
Yeah,
I think a 9 out of 10 because it is really well done. I do think it's a really good try, and I think you guys should definitely watch this movie. And this director, Vetri Doraisamy, I don't know if I've watched any other movies by him, but he has like a directing style kind of similar to Vetrimaran, but actually Vetrimaran's movies are like super morbid and scary. So I mean, I'm not really sure, but I can tell that he's going to be directing a lot of movies. So I'm excited to see what he has in the future. But yeah, but we definitely think we should.
I mean, he's got real concepts, which is like not all happy endings and stuff.
Yeah, and it shows our true culture, like farming and what we come from. You know, it's not just like...
They have these really good nativity shots as well, with all these like farming, agriculture things that we do only in India and you don't do anywhere else. And that was really cool to like get reminded of that. It started with what scene? It was like a guy who was sewing slippers.
Oh, slippers, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like we loved some of the shots, and again, I have not seen like shots like this in a movie, and really movies that have brought that village feel. The only movies I've seen like that are like older movies, like Veil, Asuran, those kind of movies, and those are older movies that kids of our generation have not really had a chance to watch. So we have these movies that are newer, but they give a nice glimpse of what we are and where we come from and our heritage. So we do think that you should watch this movie, and we're rating it a 9 out of 10. So it was really well done. As always, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in our next video.
The single mother's trying to repay. What is so funny?
What the heck? Oh my God.
So at the start of the movie, basically, what is so shut
I was
up?
about to stop. I was going to talk and then you started.
Just be quiet, okay? Let me speak,
Okay.
and you'll calm down. Okay, give me a second. It's Friday, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. So at the start of the